with that, we always like to start off to give you guys a little peek behind the curtain, little ingredients to what makes us who we are. We talk about our past few weeks or so, and we took a break last week on the Exp Talk Show for some very important business that happened on Saturday. Lee, do you want to talk about your week before we get into mine?
Let me get it. I'll get my stuff out of the way because, dude, like we need to discuss your life.
My life.
And
it's important.
The changes that happened during it. So I'll knock this out real quick. So 2 weeks ago, so we took last week off for reasons we're going to discuss in a moment. 2 weeks ago, 2 Saturdays was Oath Day at the Solemn Oath Brewery in Naperville, Illinois.
I got fucked up, but anyway.
You did. So like, quick couple things is like, so Steve was gracious enough to take me with him. It was a little bit of a birthday present. So dude, again, thank you. That was like such a, that was like such a
It was
good,
great. I had such a good time.
Like, cause there's, like when you give like experiences as presents, I think those are awesome because like, experience and memory is a gift in and of itself. So like you get to, the feeling you get to remember a tangible thing is great. Don't get me wrong. I fucking collect all things and everything, but like an experience is equally as gratifying. So Solemn Oath Day was incredible. We drank plenty of beers. Maybe one too many, but
I did for sure.
You did, but just a quick story from that day. It was beautiful and amazing. All the food and all the drinks were great, but like towards the end of the night, there was a young lady. This was in a parking lot that they kind of cut off, so there was cars everywhere because it's in like an industrial field. And so this like young lady tried to drive away after having a few beers. And
more than a few. She was real messed up, guys. Real
slippery. So and so she tried to drive away and backed up into like the fencing that was cutting off the event, and nearly hit us that were sitting there, mainly your sisters.
Yes.
So so she was sitting there, almost get hit by this car, and so everybody stops her, gets her out of the car, and then one of the Solemn Oath employees called the police on her, naturally, right?
Right, because she almost endangered somebody's life.
She almost killed somebody. I don't want to say kill somebody necessarily, but
she could have hurt somebody if there wasn't a fence in between that and the people that were sitting there.
Right. So regardless, it's a dumb fucking decision. So
right.
So call the police. Police give her a sobriety test. They put her in the back of the car. She kicks the window out of the back of the police car.
She kicked the back of the window out after she had already been arrested and put in the back of the police car. This is how sober this person was.
Yeah, dude. So she was belligerent, man, and it was crazy. So then the employee is sitting there like staring it down and like freaking the fuck out. So then one of the owners or something like that, was that who he was? Or like managers or something?
Honestly, I do not remember because I was very not sober.
Yeah. So but basically an authority figure to this employee was like chewing him out for what he did, and like didn't get her a lift instead and had to call the police, and now it's all like it looks bad and shit like that. So like literally everybody who was there to have a good time and like all the consumers were like, no, that's fucking stupid. The guy did the right thing. He did the right thing by calling the police, so she's off the road. And so like so the guy was just like pacing and he was all frustrated and stuff like that. So I went up to him and I was like, dude, you did the right thing. Don't forget it.
He did.
And so that was like the weirdest thing that happened. So Solemn Oath Day, super kick ass.
Yes.
Last weekend was Elaine's birthday, my wife.
My wife.
And it was our 8-year anniversary of being together the day after. So
happy anniversary. Can we get some happy anniversaries in the chat, please?
Dude, it's a big thing. Duck Norris is here.
Hell yeah, Duck Norris.
About that. I'm assuming the 09 is the fact that you were born in 09, so you're just a 10-year-old boy, I can only assume.
No.
Anyways, or 1909 and you're 110 years old.
He's more likely that he's 110 for sure.
Oh man, I hope Doug Norris is 110. But yeah, so we celebrated the shit out of Elaine's birthday and our anniversary. Went out to just like delicious dinner. got CBD cocktails at nearby bars, great brunches, went out to celebrate a little bit, and it was wonderful. It was like, went to a little festival on Sunday and stuff, and it was really great. And then most recently, right before the show, went to the dentist, got to get some fillings done, and got to get a crown put in. So I'm not so happy about that.
I mean, it's better than like your teeth rotting out,
Yeah, it's true.
Like you'd be like, "Fuck, my teeth are rotting," and you'd be effed. But we're probably like, we're probably only a few years away before they're like, "Oh, let me just drop some," and then it just like grows. It's fine.
So yeah, you'll
lose that bad tooth in a few days. A new one will be there in a soon.
So for those out there, haven't seen the dentist or like are fearful of the dentist or whatever, like get it done. Like the advances of technology and pain relief is magical. So that was my worry for a long time, and I'm not worried about it anymore. So I gotta get some teeth work done. But Steve,
yeah,
another thing happened over the weekend. This past
what happened?
A very special thing that I want you to talk about.
Oh,
last weekend was a special weekend.
What was special?
And it was very special, and I got to be a part of it. Anyway, tell the good people.
That's such a good crying voice.
Yeah. Just don't enunciate things. It was such a special weekend. Just don't enunciate things.
I love it. That's, okay, well, let me try this. So you said don't enunciate things?
Yeah, like don't like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about. Should I talk about my week like I'm crying?
Not entirely, because we want to hear about.
Let's just do it like let me recap what happened at Solemn Oath with the woman.
Yeah.
The woman. She got arrested. She got put back in the car, and she came out the window. Sorry.
See how fun that is?
That's a lot of fun. You're right.
So fun, dude.
That's a good. I like that voice.
Ooh, give us.
Your boy is married Dong 64. I got married on Saturday. How crazy is that?
Woo! Now that deserves the most whatever people put in chat.
The highest of fives.
The most positivity.
Slap your screens, boys. Slap this palm. Or better yet, smooch your screen if you're into that.
Kiss that hand.
High five. My wife.
Tell us everyththing, because let's hear your mindset. Let's hear your journey, all that good stuff.
Let's talk about the marriage journey. Okay, so we initially had a venue booked for next year, and we were planning on having more than 100 people show up, and we did all the number crunching in January, and we were like, you know what? That's a Tesla. That's a down payment on a house. Like, we don't need to be doing that. So we what we ended up doing was we rethought our whole process, and it's not that the money would have been a problem. It was more of like the experience didn't feel like it was me and Leia's, Mrs. Dong's, like what we wanted.
Mrs. Dong's.
Yeah, so we were rethinking the whole thing, and after some visiting of places and going different spaces and all that fun stuff, we had determined that we wanted a pow. Holy crap!
Take these biddies and take Mrs. Dong
somewhere
shit. Nice.
Thank you, Duck Norris.
Duckies.
Thank you for are you saying pow? What are you saying? But yeah, so oh my gosh. Yes. So we decided that we would do a much smaller venue at one of our favorite restaurants that we went to for pretty much every anniversary we've ever had. A badass place called Longman and Eagle, which is, I definitely recommend anybody who's in town, Chicago, goes there. They have amazing drinks and food, and the people are just very nice and real. There isn't sort of like the superficiality when it comes down to dining at a restaurant. It just feels very the people that work there care very much about the experience of the people that work that are eating there, and you can see that in every aspect of how they handle their business and the food and the drinks. So go there. But we had our brunch. We had amazing food. We had amazing drinks. Lee, my wonderful boy, officiated the whole wedding. You were way more nervous than we were.
100%, man.
I mean, to be fair, you were like standing in front of everybody, and you're like, okay, well, I have to say some important shit about these people, So
yeah, that was a lot of it's a lot of pressure, but like you guys really calmed me down and like, you know, brought me back to earth, so to speak, man.
Yeah. It was great,
It was
man.
such a great experience. It was such a great time. It was like, it was simple. It was you guys. It was like, you know, it was like, it was humble. It was, you know, it didn't need to be anything flashy and special. You only had the most special people there that you wanted to be there. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a show. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so like, so it was really an honor to do that. And like, I was just, I will put it this way, dude. It's like, and as I've told you guys, like, I just wanted to make sure because I know how special that moment is. Every detail can matter. And especially when it comes to like the speaking part and the actual like wed of two people is a very important moment. So there's a lot of weight that's on that. And I just wanted to make sure I honored you guys for how amazing human beings you are. And make sure that it's a memory that you guys are going to carry forever. You know what I mean?
Agreed, man. And you did that
Yeah.
for sure. Like, it was one of those things where I thought, you know, the day of, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to feel it now or whatever. And I was tearing up a little bit at the beginning when you were talking, because I was just like, this is like what I'm experiencing right now. Like, nobody existed in the room besides you and Leia at that point. And that was that feeling that I was like, okay, I know going forward, like knowing, we talk a lot about it on the show, but like whenever you're upset or uncertain, I don't know, for me, like the knowing of where you'd like to go, regardless of what it is. If you're doing work, if you're doing creative process, if you're planning something out on the weekend, the knowing that you're going, that rhymes, the knowing that you're going to do something without any sort of shakiness is a confidence to itself, right? Like knowing yourself. And that's what I felt the whole weekend. Like while we were eating, while we were drinking, while I was talking with everybody, it's like, I know that this is what I want to be, where I want to be, what I want to do. And
Right. That's amazing, dude.
You just, you know, orchestrated the whole thing, and it was just like the cherry on top of the experience that I was looking for on one of the most important days of my life, you know?
Dude, hell yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, can't really say anything more than that. It was just great to see everybody. It was great to eat like food that everybody enjoyed, that everybody had been like talking about, you know, later and the day after and all that shit. It was cool. It was like I left an impact on them as well. Like, yes, the wedding was very untraditional and what was expected. And dude, Leia looked beautiful. Like her makeup was on. She did her
crazy.
makeup. She bought this dress that had a cape on it. And I was like, I want a cape. And she's like, too bad. Fuck off. But she looked beautiful. There wasn't like, and it was one of those things where like, too, we weren't together the whole time. Like, it wasn't this like, okay, we're married and, you know, the expectation is we are now together walking around doing things together from night to finish. It was like we were operating independently, and that was totally fine. It was how we didn't change how we would act in any other public setting. And the times where we were together, it was extra special because it was like, come here, my wife, come here, you know, like,
yeah, dude, that's
you know,
so great. Fucking love is real.
Love is real, man. It's great.
Yeah, but you guys really did it, man. And like, and that was, and I know, because I know you guys, like, you are about the experience of others. You're about other people having enjoyment in their life, you know, and that was reflected in that ceremony. I was way bummed I couldn't make it to the night celebration. But I know that like that same thing, I'm sure, was just like a blast.
Oh yeah, there was a few people from
sure.
Twitch that came too, like Schmo Gaming and Sampo. They were
awesome.
So that was super surreal moment too, because I'm like sitting, I'm like, you guys are my friends online, and now you're here for my wedding reception. How fucking crazy is that? And they're like, dude, I have no idea. That's nuts. And then they were like, hey, is your friend is Lee here? I was like, no, Lee was here, officiated the wedding. He's not gonna be here tonight. And they were like, but what about James? Because they know James from well, I think I have it here still. Hold on. I don't have the video ready for this. Whatever. But he hip thrust with me in that video, and that was surreal too, because James didn't know any of these people, and they were like, we know who you are because Steve talks about you all the time, and you're the guy that is really good at humping poles with him. So
I want to make sure, like, for everybody out there, like, James is more than just a pole humping boy.
Yeah, he's a loving
like,
boy.
He is an incredible human being as well, and like, you all need to find that boy.
I haven't met a person that doesn't know who James is when I talk about him if they have met him.
Mhm.
And if they haven't seen him in a long time, they're like, "Do you still hang out with James?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude!" Like, how's he doing? You know,
As you should, man. As you should.
gotta pass it on. But yeah, that was. I mean, that was pretty much my week. Sunday was really lax, which was nice. We went to the Publican for brunch, and it was, dude. Have you gone to the Publican for brunch?
I feel like I have.
It's another like restaurant that just authentically does everything to a T very well, and the food is just god tier. It's so good. It is so good.
God tier. All right,
I just that's I have no other language for that. Thank you. I do have one piece of feedback though for most restaurants. Okay, if you see a hungover bride and husband and you want to celebrate with them, my recommendation is to not give them more alcohol, because that was like the default thing.
You're the dog.
They're like, "Cheers, man. Here's some champagne and a shot of whiskey." And I was like, "Thank you. I very much appreciate it. Can I also get a fucking like buttered biscuit or something? Like, I need sustenance, bro. I need to fill my tum with some
Steve, you know
foundational
what you need?
foods."
They gave you what you needed. That's the hair of the dog.
What is the hair of the dog?
The hair of the dog. You never heard of the hair of the dog?
No, what is that?
Dude, you just like when you're hungover the next day, just drink more alcohol, and then it like cures your hangover. Because it like you have this extreme of like being super drunk, and now you're just like not, and then like drinking kind of like eases it a little bit.
Is that true though? Is that there's science behind that?
Maybe, but proven theory.
Proven
it's 100%
theory?
proven theory.
Okay, sure. 69%.
Google it. Yeah, 69.
Google it.
That's awesome, dude. Tell us a little more about the like after party at night and stuff.
So
was it solid?
It was at headquarters, Beercade. They were giving us food all night, water, champagne. They blocked off this whole area so people had like a nice home base where they could go play games and come back.
Cool. Where were you guys located in River North, or in the place? Did you guys do like the downstairs area?
No, it was the upstairs area where you can play like that Bulls basketball game. They sectioned off that whole area for us, so that was really nice. And then one of my highlights of the night was seeing my friend Nicole, who I hadn't seen in like a couple of years. She came out to the wedding reception. That was amazing. She is still one of my like greatest friends that I've known since I was 18, so like almost 10 years. And I hadn't seen her in a couple of years. We just occasionally like, "Hey, hope everything's well," all this stuff, minor updates, that sort of thing. And so she came out to the wedding reception, and that was great. And she got to meet Leia, and I was like fucking stoked about that. Because she lives in Glen Ellen and is working a lot, so like I want to make sure like they're acquainted as well. Because when you have friends for a long time, especially with the opposite gender, like the wrong impression can be had if they don't know who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then like to cap off the night, Cloverstar, thank you for the host. To cap off the night, I had a drink from a complete and total stranger because I went into the bathroom right after him, and we were washing our hands, and together both of us sighed at the same time. It was just like it was like 12:30, and like we both sighed, and I was like, "Long day?" He goes, "Yeah, man." I was like, "Dude, tell me about it. I got married in the morning, and I'm still hanging out." He's like, "What? Get the fuck out of here. You got married?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I buy you a drink?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And that was pretty cool. There's a guy named
is where the night took a turn.
It's
like an 80s like rock movie or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that honestly, that was like I was pounding 6 waters and having like one drink intermittently, and then near the end of the night, I got a little bit rowdy. Did you see any of the videos I posted?
I saw the one that you going back to your hotel.
Yeah, where I'm like not yelling, but I was like, "Ha!" like really loud. It's like 2:30 a.m.
That's funny, dude.
Being a little rowdy.
Yeah, that's the day. So the other thing I didn't say because like everyone feels like they have to give you advice like on your wedding day or like after or before, like everyone feels like they're in the right and stuff. So it's like they didn't really want to do this per se, but like and I know that you guys were going to live it regardless, but like you get to feel any emotion that you want. You know what I mean? Like if you are sad, you fucking cry. If you're mad, get mad. If you're happy, laugh your dick off. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
you like, because that, I mean, when they say it's your day, like it really is. So like the moments where, you know, and this is where I was like, I you know, should have tried to give Leia that encouragement, but like there were times where she was like holding back tears. She was like, oh, I don't want to cry. I want to cry. I want to be like, fucking cry, man. This is your day. You get to do that. And it's
Right.
like, and you know, your inhibitions just like release. And it's like, and that outpour of emotion is so fucking satisfying because we all live our lives like kind of, you know, holding in a lot of emotion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether, no matter what part of your life, right? And so like that's the day positively that you get to be like, you just throw up all your emotions and you just feel no sadness for it because that is your moment of like the battle has been won. And just like what you were talking about, Steve, like that's that moment we were standing up there, you're just like, I fucking did it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you feel the sense of pride and warmth and, you know, tingliness and stuff like that it totally the rumors are true in that regard. So like I know you guys felt that. I just like didn't want to be like, make sure you feel this, because then like it ruins the emotion. It ruins the idea of it. You know what I mean? But but I know you guys like really felt yourself. Felt yourselves. Wow. You guys really felt the love, man, and like everybody there did too, and I know it. So fucking congratulations to you, man.
Thank you,
like,
man.
So sick.
It was great.
Sick.
Yeah, but
Beautiful couple.
That was
so beautiful.
That was like, I mean, as simple as it was, my last week. It was a lot of emotions and a lot of really cool things, and man, it's like, yeah, now we're stepping into the next thing. It's like we even like, I mean, we've always had our plans and stuff laid out. So she's like, I mean, we're married. What's next? I'm like, well, you know, like we got to start looking for a house in the next like 3-4 years, and then probably like around year 4 is when we're gonna start looking and having kids and stuff, you know. So it's hell like,
hell yeah, dude.
Woo!
But even that stuff too, it's like the you know, the feeling that you get is just like to some degree a sense of freedom.
Yeah, it is, because we know
like,
what we want to do and we're in control of it, you know.
Yeah, but and on top of that, it's like that is such a huge chapter to that society has put on everybody's life, where it's like, you got to get married, man, you got to fall in love, you got to find this person or whatever, right?
Right.
And so like, you know, we understand that because we're in it. It's not for everybody, but like, but because that's such a huge component, it is a really satisfying component to life, is love and having somebody and everything.
Yeah.
And you know, but when you have that piece of it, and that piece of it could be marriage, it could be like the greatest job you ever wanted, it could be an apartment, it could be a house, it could be something, whatever it is, where it's a giant chapter in your life, you get to just walk away and be like, I did it. I'm here, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. So then it's just like, you know, like Steve, you're saying, it's like, you know, there's always that plan, but it's like, just fuck it. You guys are gonna be together forever. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, so the time, like, and this is that you guys can absolutely live your life the way that you see fit. I'm in no way wanting to imply that like what you guys are doing is the wrong way, but it's like, but you know, you because you know that you're going to be together, you know that you're in love and you're satisfied, there's no pressure to put a timestamp on anything,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, so the pressure is biologically is like,
yeah,
that's a big one.
The kids thing I get, but like,
the house is
40's the new 20, all right?
True. So, I mean, you're probably not wrong, but yeah, it's just like things will be very much different in like our 3 to 4 years, and I think it's important. I mean, this is again maybe a differing in opinion, and it doesn't mean that timeline isn't flexible depending on what life throws our way, right?
Totally. Yeah.
But it's just like for me and Leia, in terms of how we operate as people, we like, even with the talk show and stuff, like I don't really have ambitions in terms of numbers or anything like that I write down. It's more of like, I would like to interview this person or get to the point where I can talk to that person for like an interview or a talk show or whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
It's the same thing with life. Like for me, like in order for me to progress, I need to have these cornerstones. One of them, right, is marriage. Like that was always something that I was looking for, like a partner for the rest of my life, you know, and that's like a chapter that I was looking for, like not cornerstones, I guess, is it's more of like these goals.
Milestone.
Right? Milestones, yes. Thank you.
Cornerstone, I think, is something different.
That's from Westworld.
Yeah.
um yeah, so it's like there's these milestones that I want in my life, and I had like a vision of where I'd like to be, and if we're not ready to do things at a certain time, then it's like we're not ready, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's never even like asserting or, you know, going through this stuff when you're ready at that time. It's more about like around that time I feel like I'll be in the right mental space fiscally and mentally to handle having a kid and all that fun stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But it could happen earlier. I mean, who knows, right?
And that's kind of my thought process on it, is like, you know, the like naturally you and Leia found each other naturally, right? It wasn't determined, it wasn't planned, you weren't like seeking it per se, but you guys found each other. And that's an example of how it's like, you know, when you are yourself and you're not putting your pressure on yourself to try to find love, like you're you know, aggressively seeking it.
Exactly.
I just feel like you're in a different mindset than you should be to truly find that really great and amazing person. Because like when you are not aggressively seeking it, you are 100% you are your personality. And Steve, I mean, like same thing between you and me. It's like, I'm talking about the show. It's like we are us, and we are us together. You know, our friendship. You know, you and Leia, me and Elaine, and kind of stuff. Like we are us, and so when you can be comfortable in your own skin, and then someone else joins your life while you're being comfortable in your own skin, God, life is easier. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like. So
you proceed
you know,
together more confidently into the world.
Yeah, because you're not having to worry about like, you know, I'm gonna act a particular way to try to find someone to date, and then you kind of like try to convince yourself that this like persona that you have developed with this person is the right one, you know, and then eventually that shit gets out. Eventually that stuff doesn't work. You know, it's not going to sustain itself, right? So it's like. And that's why divorce happens. That's why my parents got divorced, is that it's just like your true self wasn't your true self when you first find that person.
You still needed to figure some shit out.
Exactly. And it's like, but then at the same time, it's like the figuring yourself out, because I know I am not the guy I am now. Oh no, I am not the guy I used to be when Elaine and I first started, right?
Right.
But there was it was 8 years ago. Fuck. You know what I mean? So I was a little baby.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, you get, it's like, and so I was delinquent. I was dumb, and I was, you know, I didn't have a path in my life.
Would you say you were inexperienced?
Ooh, I was a level 1 bridge troll.
That's pretty brutal,
you know what
bro.
I mean? I was a level 1 bridge troll. Let me tell you that right now.
I tell you
right?
what, I was a level 1 bridge troll.
So like, but then, you know, once you're yourself, then like, then
now
then
he's a level 12 bridge troll.
See, that's mean, Steve.
I feel like a bridge troll lives forever. You know what I mean? Like if you were a level 1 bridge troll at level 12, you're still a bridge troll, bro.
No, dude.
That's not a good. You were probably like, I would say you're like a peasant at like level 1, and then now you're like a wizard.
I'm a fucking knight, right?
Knight.
Okay? But when I become
He's a knight.
king, when I become a fucking king, dude.
You can't become a king though. You're got the wizard beard. You gotta stick with the wizard role.
I'm gonna make beards cool.
You could be a wizard king.
Kings do it.
You could be a wizard king.
Man. You know the King Robert, right? Is that?
I don't know. I don't watch the show.
Anyway, so but yeah, my point is just like, dude, be yourself, and that's why I'm so happy for you guys.
Be yourself.
Like you and Leia are yourselves. You found each other because of you being yourselves, and you guys will continue to be yourselves as you grow, as you change, as you fucking level the fuck up.
And we'll be better together.
A level 13 bridge troll.
You know what I was just thinking about, and I don't know if Leia will be okay with it, but I've been trying to propose it to her. I want to do the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z.
I feel like she'd be okay with that.
I think so too. I was gonna do it like I was like wedding day. We should totally do that. We should do the fusion dance. Probably not okay on wedding day.
I wouldn't do it on the wedding day.
How awesome would that have been? Where you just like, yeah, and everybody's like, what is happening? Sorry, I'm just. If she was a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, it would be a thing for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's. You guys should do it like regardless. I mean, make a video or whatever. Fuck, like
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you guys
will
make it your own, right? You guys will make it your own. You will be yourselves. You'll find a common ground. So
proceed confidently to the new life, man, because that's what it is. I mean, like it's everybody's like, how does it feel to be married? How does it feel? You feel different? I'm like, it's the same. I'm just like, now I got a ring on my finger. You know what I noticed? People are more open to questions and interaction when you have, I don't know, like
a wedding ring.
A wedding ring, maybe. I don't know.
You wanna know why?
I think it's like, oh, you are mature enough to be in a relationship. You must be able to exist in the adult world.
You know what
Sir?
I think it is?
Somebody called me sir yesterday, and it fucking freaked me out.
Oh, Steve's. Oh,
I was holding something, and they came up and like, "Can I help you? Can I help you with something, sir?" I'm like, "Yes, it's Mr. Verdone to you." So
fucking get my name right.
Yeah. Remember me. You're on the phone with Steve Verdone.
That's amazing.
All right, I'm done talking about it. Fuck.
No, dude, it's like you should. Again, dude, like I was talking about, like fucking. You get to be like this, and it's like, and because I'll add this other point to it. It's like, and this is kind of related to your whole ring thing. Is how people are more like discussion really oriented,
conversative.
Anyway, people want to talk more about when you have like a ring. It's like they are seeking an answer from you as to like how you did it, right?
Oh,
and so
sure.
If anything, they're seeking an answer of how you did it because they don't know how to do it, or they don't know how to do it right.
Right.
I've gotten the same thing where it's just like people that are single or whatever. It's like, how do you feel? And it's like the point, the simple fact that you have to ask me that is already wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't even think it's like, it's just, how was everything? I like those questions. And,
yeah, no, that's
it's more about like the experience, but the people that are inexperienced in relationships or like what it's like, they're like, a lot of people, and it's even happening here, like in the chat, people have come in and they're like, oh, you're getting married on Saturday? Oh, ball and chain club. Hoi, 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 hoi. And I'm like, dude, that's not even like close to what the relationship that I have with my person. And it's so weird.
You are sad.
Well, it's not even you are sad. It's like the people project how they feel on the inside almost immediately when you refer to that question. And
dude, you're going to get this too. Like you'll get the whole, it's like, hey man, how's marriage going? And you're like, oh man, it's great. And you're just like, just wait a couple years. And you're just like,
I'm like, okay. Dude, I've been dating the same person, living with the same person for the past like 2.5, 3 years. How much more can this be different?
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
But I think your responsibility of sharing your story means more than you think, because you're such an incredible dude, and Leia is an incredible person too. People like, I think you can do the world a good deed by telling your story and inspiring others how to be good people,
right?
You know what I mean? So like, like you'll not want to talk about it all the time, but like it'll get to the point where you're just like, you are so happy that you just want other people to be just as happy as you are.
Yeah,
so
but I'm not gonna be like an advocate for it. You know what I mean? I'll sit there and answer questions and all that, and
yeah,
I'm more than happy to share like my experience of doing it. And that should be enough. If it's gonna be, me like being an advocate for marriage, I'm not gonna be that guy. You know what I mean? I'll be like an advocate for being
an advice thing. No, it's not an advice
thing.
No, it's like just by you telling your story and you telling people how you got to where you are is inspiring enough, because you guys are so great. You know what I mean? So like that is what I urge you to do. And because I love you guys so much, and because it was such an honor to fucking be there, like you guys have an amazing story and you guys should share it, dude. So fucking cheers, man. Fucking cheers.
Fucking cheers, boys.
So happy for you too, man.
Oh man.
More celebrations to come.
something to segue us into our topic for tonight.
Talk about weed.
Illinois legalized recreational marijuana. It goes into effect January 1st through our 2020. Also, some really cool news about that too. Anybody in the state of Illinois that has been arrested for 30 grams or less of marijuana, nonviolent drug charges, they will be they will have their records expunged dropped after review or whatever. So super cool.
It's a big deal.
It's very cool. I'm very happy for the state to get a lot more money from us in a way that is not taxes and road tolls and a bunch of other taxes and shit that's not necessary. I'm very excited for that. Yeah, it is. Well, it is tax. Yeah, but it's not. It's through a means of like you are benefiting the person who there's a transaction. There's immediate benefit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, constructive income for sure.
Exactly. It's and I look forward to see how it transforms the state and how many people get brought in here and property tax and all that stuff dropping. I'm very excited about that. There was a recent article published about cannabis. It's from nationalgeographic.com. Lee found this article while Mercedes Benz. Those guys couldn't vote, right? Wait, who couldn't vote?
What?
Wait,
who's those guys?
You're talking about the people who were convicted. Yes. Yeah, those people. Anybody convicted.
Laws that we're trying to change too, but
right. Those are. You're correct, Mercedes-Benz. So those people will be able to vote again, which is really awesome.
But, so here's a kind of, and forgive me for taking a quick side tangent here. Is like, here's the inspiring element of this whole full circle thing is that like, so yes, the people that got busted and are in jail for it or whatever it is, like could not vote because of rough laws in the voting system, but enough people were advocates for those individuals. Right. And they were advocates for the legalization of cannabis. Like I remember checking the box. I was like, fuck yeah. And it was very weird and surreal. But then at the same time, I was like, progression. Hell yeah. And so like,
please vote.
So if anything, like we at that stage were the voice for those that couldn't speak their own. You know what I mean?
It's very, so, I think, all of the cannabis laws and legalization and recreation and all that stuff in all the states that currently have it all started as a grassroots movement. And when I say grassroots, like it starts from like people just wanting it and telling their senators and then advocating for it and then getting it signed and put into law. With all these other states that have done this before Illinois, they've done the research. They see the benefits of it does for the society. It's not a brand new thing anymore. And it's very exciting to see this being spearheaded, and especially something that's like, okay, well, yes, it's legalized, and then also we're expunging records because it took years for Colorado and California to get onto that bandwagon, and we're just we're playing catch up. We gotta go. Like, this is legal. These people didn't do a bad thing. We need to move past this shit. Let's go.
Especially like with JB Pritzker. Like that was one of his main things that he was running on as a state senator in Illinois was like, we need to legalize this, right? And so like enough people voted to get JB Pritzker into office, and he's like a fucking billionaire, so yeah, he's got his own problems too, but he still was advocating for things that most of the state wanted, right? And so it was just like, you know, for those that don't believe in voting or didn't vote, it's another example of just like you feel like you were able to contribute to that progress because I voted for JB Pritzker, I voted to legalize weed, and then and so all of that stuff just comes together because of that power of that vote. It's great. It's fucking inspiring. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
There's like a map I found of Illinois and all the counties, and like red voted no and blue voted yes for the legalization of cannabis. And for those of you not from Illinois, it's basically Chicago is all Democrat and like a chunk of Springfield, but the rest of it is all really heavily Republican. But because of the density of how many people are in Chicago, that steers the vote to the Democratic side. So It was
So
just
go
a
fuck
funny
yourself, you old people. Sorry. I'm sorry.
There's young people there too.
I'm not. Yeah, it's just a cultural thing. Like it's people growing up and not knowing and being stubborn and sticking to tribes and all that. And like it's not even a Democrat versus Republican thing. It's just a Republican thing. It's just a like I get that question sometimes in the DMs. They're like, "Hey, are you left or right?" I'm like, "Listen, I don't honestly know. Like I don't know how. Maybe I lean a little bit more left on some things and right on some other things, but like I haven't done the homework to actually know what I am. I just know what like opinions I have about certain things, and if you want to know, you can ask me. But like I literally go into like I voted for not just Democrat. Like people are like vote Democrats in, but I'm like doing the research on these people, and I'm like seeing like their experience as well, and I'm like, listen, you fucking don't even know what you're doing. You're taking advantage of people by saying like, hey, you should be voting for me because I'm a Democrat. Like you need to be also judging people based on the merit of who they are as well and their past existence as like a policy maker and all that. If they have a history of shit, I mean, they could have some, I don't know. It's always, they need to balance the things out. You can't just pick sides. You got to understand that there's nuance in gray area, and you should be doing your research on every one that is available to you to be voted on. That's all I'm saying.
And I would say just the only addition to that is like, so, you know, about picking sides per se, I do have to play devil's advocate in the sense of like, yes, we've gotten to this point where in our democracy there is one side and the other as opposed to a collective, but that was kind of how America was founded, was like these two sides and being able to argue your side as to what's better to it. I think that if you learn what your beliefs are for you as an individual, but especially you learn the needs of others in the entire country. Like there are 600 million people or something like that in the United States, 700 million people, something like that. So there are so many, a huge spectrum of these these opinions. So eventually it has to boil down to one or the other to be able to meet the needs of the masses, so to speak, at least the way that our democratic system is, or our democracy is set up. So so I agree with you, but there's just that little devil's advocate I have to put to that, where, there's still a part you have to pick one, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of stuck with that with the old system, right? So until it's something new or things change to a certain degree, it's like, okay, well, we need to understand that not everything is going to be black and white. I don't know what this word is, Lurker Guy number 4, so I'm going to look it up. Welcome in. Usually presented in a threefold manner, was stated by Heinrich Moritz Cannabis as compromising 3 dialectical stages of development. Huh.
What?
You gave me something to read.
Hegelian dialectic.
Can you Lurker Guy, can you do me a solid? Can you do me a solid and send me a link, and if you're right before you post, ask for permission so that we can see it, and I'll add it to the Discord to read later, because I don't know about that, and that sounds really cool.
And if that is an inevitable future, the problem is the educational system that has failed us to not know what the fuck that means. And now we have to vote for the people that want to enhance the educational system, blah, 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 full circle, right? So,
well, I think like another thing too to consider a little bit more in terms of the devil's advocate thing, when you're nuancing in terms of picking your sides, you can pick people that are, yes, from 2 different sides, but can work cohesively to bring balance to the force.
Yeah, totally. I think honestly, yes, great call out. I think especially with all these, and we don't have to talk too much more about this, but like because I know we got the article, but like especially with all these like so many Democratic nominees for president of the United States, like it is very understood amongst Democrats and amongst the population in the United States that it is a lot to choose from. But I based off of all the candidates that I've been researching and everything, I feel confident that they will have that same mentality of like working together, as opposed to like, you should vote for me as a Democrat, not that other Democrat, because that other Democrat doing this and this and that. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I think that we will get to an equilibrium in that regard. So, and I agree.
Hoping.
Yeah. So
let's let's get into the content.
Vote.org. Fuck yeah, vote.org. Yeah, so this article, so going back to the use of cannabis, now legalized in Illinois. This I thought was pretty interesting. This literally just stumbled up on my news feed, which was strange in and of itself, where, you know, in mainstream news, it's becoming more and more of a thing. You know what I mean? It used to be like off limits because it was illegal. You know what I mean? So now it's like, it's becoming more positively in the news and just more of a general term instead of it like, it's illegal, right?
Right. And they're using the term cannabis as well, which is super nice for all you guys who don't know. I'm not saying like, you know, I don't know. Marijuana, the word marijuana was used in propaganda to promote the use of illegal drugs by Mexicans and black people. And it was very successful in that regard. So the fact that this article uses cannabis, like the correct term for it, I'm not saying like marijuana is an incorrect term. A lot of people don't know the history behind the word, but I think cannabis is a very, very appropriate term to use because it's the most scientific. It refers to the plant itself and not like the term that was made up to punish those that were using the substance that everybody uses. But yeah, do you want me to start reading it from the top, or do you want to?
Yeah, go for
okay.
it, man. Yeah.
So the photo, and I'll show you guys this here.
Fucking ancient pipe, dude.
That's so weird that it does that.
Ancient pipe.
I got it. What the heck? I honestly don't know what this.
Ugh. That's a window. Whoa.
It is a window. Wow, very strange. Okay.
The internet has failed us.
Yeah, I don't know why the browser like window never works.
Hashtag someone fix it.
Smash Nail, thank you for the follow.
That's so sick, dude.
Okay. I'm not gonna fix this right now. So basically, it is
in the Discord.
The article is in the Discord. Cosmo
plug, right?
Realness. Yo, dude, I will never smoke weed again. I hated it so much. Pow pow, welcome in. I'm here for science. Science! Hi again. Good to see you.
It's a good thing.
Cosmo, I agree. To a certain degree, I think that the plant, just like any other substance, it's not for everybody. So I agree with that. So you knowing that this was something that you shouldn't be doing and you stopped is a really good thing.
Exactly. Whereas
but I hope you enjoy the conversation too, because like I know this is something that you may not have a lot of experience in, but nonetheless it is fascinating. So the picture is this really ancient wooden bowl is what I would describe it, and inside it are some hot or psychoactive chemicals called THC. So the 2,500-year-old burials at Jersenkal Cemetery in Western China feature wooden braziers that burned cannabis plants containing an unusually high level of the psychoactive chemical THC. So this is the earliest evidence for cannabis smoking discovered in ancient tombs. That I'm not as confident in, and I can only say that because Graham Hancock has talked quite a bit about psychedelic use amongst ancient civilizations, and I'm pretty sure it goes back even further than that, but I'd have to double check.
I think this is it. I think the idea with this one is that it's just and we'll read on a little bit further. I kind of like read just a little bit of the beginning of the article, and it's basically like they've seen like cannabis plants and they've seen how it's like used in different ways. It was just, this was like the first smoking of cannabis and like the first signs of it being used in that instance.
Right.
Or one of
at least from
first
like evidence for that. Yeah.
Right.
This is the earliest direct evidence for human consumption of cannabis as a drug has been discovered in Central Asia. While cannabis plants and seeds have been identified at other archaeological sites from the same general region and time period, including a cannabis burial shroud discovered in 2016, it's been unclear in each context whether the versatile plant was used for psychoactive reasons or for the other ritual purposes. An international team of researchers analyzed the interiors and contents of 10 wooden bowls excavated from the burials at Jersenkal Cemetery, a site on the Pamir Plateau in what is now far western China. The bowls contained small stones that had been exposed to high heat, and archaeologists identified them as braziers for burning incense or other plant matter. When chemical analysis of the braziers revealed that 9 of the 10 once contained cannabis, 9 of the 10 once contained cannabis. The researchers compared the chemical signature of the samples against those of cannabis plants discovered 1,000 miles to the east at Jai cemetery in burials dating from the 8th to the 6th century BC. They saw that Jersenkal cannabis had something that Jai hemp did not: molecular remnants of THC, the chemical responsible for cannabis's psychoactive effects. And that's pretty much it. As far as like going further in here, the differences, they go into like the nuances between the two different locations and the chemicals contained in those. And the Jersenkal cannabis features higher levels of mind-altering compounds that then have yet to be found at any ancient site anywhere, suggesting that people could have been intentionally cultivating certain strains of cannabis for a potent high or selecting wild plants known to produce that effect. So the thought process behind this is they were used for ceremonial purposes. Cosmo, thank you for the follow. Gifted sub. What are you doing?
Hop out for that gifted sub, dude.
Oh, thank you so much. Now you can smooch people in chat. Thank you. We got alerts turned off. If you guys want to know why, live, bam. And if you guys want to ask questions, just in case we get swept up in conversation and we miss it, please ask a question. Welcome, Cosmo. Thank you for sharing your experience with us.
Yeah. That's what we're here to do.
So the whole thing about this was using psychoactive compounds to bring people closer to their loved ones who had passed, and I thought that was very interesting. I don't, in terms of like the differences between me and Lee, I'm a little bit more on the psychedelic side of things. I think, in terms of the universe and how people get brought together, and like I believe in these things called souls, or the multitude words of consciousness, whatever you want to call it. I don't really have a word to describe it. I think people use different words to describe the things that they believe in. I think it's fascinating that, not even then, but even before then, like ayahuasca, mind-altering substance that is used psychedelically by ancient tribes going back thousands of years. I think we've been doing this for a long time, and we're only finding these things now.
Yeah, it's just it comes down to the evidence of it and putting the evidence together, and
right.
and I think if it weren't, and this is kind of silly to say, but like if it weren't for this kind of understanding of what THC does to people and what cannabis is in general, and like researching that, like we wouldn't find these different artifacts and put 2 and 2 together and be like, oh, this was meant for this because we discovered this other piece or whatever. So it's like, we too are huge advocates of science and discovery and research and all that kind of stuff. And what finds the answers, or at least the closest to answers, is evidence, bro. And so like when you're able to take these pieces, whether they're physical, theological, or otherwise, then you bring it all together and it just like makes sense. Puzzle pieces, man.
One thing we can, in our experience with this substance, we can attest to the openness that it allows you to experience life in, and I think in great quantities it can be very psychedelic. It just, pardon me, it just depends on how it's being used. Pow Pow has a question. Do you prefer these drugs should be strictly for medical use, or do you think it should be allowed for recreational use? I think
we know the answer to that, right?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, the information needs to be made available for people to be able to make an educated decision. And then in terms of like the nuanced stuff about it, I really think if you were going to make that decision, you should be 18 or older, because to be fair, like you can go to war, so why couldn't you buy pot or fucking alcohol? You know what I mean? Like,
you die from cigarettes, so you might as well
even then I don't even think that's good. Like, your prefrontal lobe is not even fully developed when you're 18. Like maybe it should even be 21. Like I don't know. As long as
I
the
think-
information
I think
is
it's
there.
21, right? I think
It is. Drinking and cannabis are 21, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so and in Illinois it's going to be 21 too, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I mean, I think that's a smart move where there are worse things that you can do earlier in life legally. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like, so yes, I think,
I
when
think
it teeters into the medical use, that takes research, and that's going to take, like, we all kind of like, I use it for this reason because I've experimented with it, and it could potentially be a placebo effect, or it could actually, change, the altering my DNA to some degree to be able to heal me in whatever way I want. But we will never know until we research it.
right. I mean, one thing in terms of what we know, in terms of the research done behind cannabis, and it's really good with inflammation, and CBD is one of those things where, like, it's non-psychoactive. It doesn't really affect anybody in the, from what we know from research being done in a negative aspect. It's just really good for inflammation. It can cure symptoms of seizures. It can help a lot of people, and that's why a lot of this is being pushed. So the medical use is one thing, but if you could leisurely, like, take care of your arthritis or something, without having to be prescribed, it'd be really nice,
Yeah. But I think on top of that, with the recreational side of it, is like, oh, is it fun? Like, it's, when you think of recreational things, like, you think, enhancing your life's experience in some degree, right? And it's like, and I think if your mind is ready for it, if your thoughts are ready for it, cannabis can potentially enhance those thoughts and enhance, what you know to be true, and what you are passionate about, what you're creative about, or creative towards,
right.
And stuff like that. So I think, that, like, there are benefits on both sides. So I think, I know we joke about it, but, like, both, baby.
Yeah.
So,
Corporate war rules aren't a good signpost for anything but corporate war rules. Yeah, you're not wrong. But I
Yeah.
don't think, I don't know. The corporations are kind of late in the train when it comes down to, like, recreational use, because they were already pushing stuff that was killing us, alcohol and cigarettes. So it's like, not to say that people who are going to be buying cannabis are going to be a little bit more cautious, but there is a more earthy, like, mindset, I guess, when it comes down to it. And some people, yes, want to get fucked up. There's going to be that spectrum that exists in all aspects of humanity, where there are people who will use it for medicinal use. There are people who want to get fucked up. There are people who just want to use it, like, moderately or just slightly enhance their life. There are those people, and the gray area is really never ever talked about. It's just, what are the two extremes? And when I say the word people who smoke pot, generations ahead of us think of, what? Like a dumb ass person. But I mean, come on, fucking Joe Rogan. Shout out to Joe Rogan, one of the smartest dudes, not smartest dudes, but successful people on the planet, that regularly smokes, works out. He's a productive member of society. And that's like, that stereotype slowly starts to phase out because of what was set, during, like, the whole drug war thing.
I think what's an interesting thought is, like, you talk about, like, corporate war and stuff, and, like, the inevitable future about, like, this legalization of cannabis as more and more states do it. Like, there are going to be cannabis corporations to some, like, at some point, and although you think to yourself, like, the people that are running those businesses, like, right now, like, a majority of people running cannabis growing farms or dispensaries or whatever, usually partake in the drug itself, so they kind of understand it to some degree. But there will be businesses where people don't understand it, but they will still try to run the business because they want to make money. But then my thought is, like, because cannabis is not addictive chemically, it's more kind of the mental side of it. Like, a corporate, if that, let me put it this way, is like, where like the cigarette companies and the and stuff, when they're pushing and opioids and stuff like that right now, like, those are chemically treated stuff that makes it more addicting chemically, and it's altered that way, right? Whereas people understand now cannabis is just a plant, and it's not anything more than that, right? So if you're really fucking evil, you would like to kill people or whatever it is. Like you really
Not even
gotta
kill
alter-
people, but like to get people hooked on a substance.
right. Like you gotta fucking go get to work. So I guess my point is just
And
like,
in this day and age, you can't do
Yeah.
that shit anymore. Like you
Right.
can
I mean, more and more
probably
people
in like
they
third
get it.
world countries and stuff, like where
Mhm.
there isn't internet, but that is very shortly lived here.
right. And so like I foresee a future of just like the more cannabis grows, the potentially hopefully less corruption there is. But I know there will be some. But
Hopefully not as much as you would think.
yeah, the
Ooh.
the what you call it, the culture that surrounds cannabis is very open minded and very positive and stuff like that. So hopefully it sticks.
Can I take a moment here really quick to thank
Soak it
one
up.
of my good friends, Dusty, who's in the chat, but Jesus, for 11 months, dude.
Oh,
Insane.
yeah.
11 months in a row. And
That's a lot of months.
it is, dude. You are like, I've gotten in the past, when I came back, I have like around 8 or 9, 11 month subscribers, like that are people that have almost been with me for an entire year. And I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me in any capacity that you've been. Not just subs, even if you're not subbed, if you've been lurking and hanging out and just listening, and experiencing life with me and talking with me, sharing stuff in the Discord, checking in to see if I'm okay. Like, y'all really care about me, and it makes me feel really good. It really does. I don't even know how to repay any of this. I started doing this to connect with people and share experiences first, and then like everything else just started coming. So thank you guys so much for all that you do for me, for real. Like, even
Positive vibes.
outside of this, outside of the like monetary shit, it has been extremely fulfilling for me to connect with all of you and share all the time, just my life, games, whatever it is. And I want to thank you guys for sharing with me, for real. It means a fuckload to me. I don't know how to say it any more than that.
Fuck yeah, dude. Positivity Thursdays, man. Positivity Thursdays. So good. Yeah.
T-plants.
To be on like the sidelines of all this stuff is inspiring. Like seeing how, Steve, you've grown your channel and like gained this, this following and meeting people that you never thought you would. And like, if anybody's felt like an ounce of inspiration to some degree, it's because of Steve here. So it's like the impact that you're making on people is real, and it's really, really awesome to see. And that takes everybody here, man. Takes everybody here. Takes Steve at the helm. Guiding.
I'm not
people in
even
right
like
direction,
I'm just not
gaining
even the
experience.
leader, dude. I'm just I'm trying
You're the
to
shaman.
I'm just
You're the
trying.
shaman,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm the shaman, dude. I'm the
are
shaman,
the
dude.
shaman.
Whatever tribe you're from, like it doesn't matter what tribe. Dude, this is actually a really cool analogy I'm coming up with right now. But you're traveling the internet verse, right? You got your tribe, you got the homies you hang out with. But when you visit another tribe, you're gonna talk to the shaman every time, right?
Because they are the gift of knowledge.
Welcome in, dude. Let me smooch your forehead, platonically welcome you in. Hello, welcome to the tribe. Dude, that's what I want to call you guys. Is that cool? Can I call you guys the tribe? That's fucking dope. The tribe?
Stick it.
Is that
Konky
cool? Not even the
Konky
Konky tribe, just like my tribe.
The Dong tribe.
No.
60.
I don't
Tribe
want
64.
it branded. I don't want it branded, dude. I don't
Dong
want
tribe 64.
a tribe called Dong.
Oh, that's stuck. Oh, that's so
A
stuck.
tribe called Dong. No, dude.
Oh, I love
Fucking
it.
Questlove would be like, what the fuck?
It's not the full thing, man. You haven't trademarked the every word in the sentence, man.
A tribe called Dong. No, dude, because
There's actually
it
a
implies the reason why I'm so adamant about like things not being branded around me is I have a firm belief that I can't do this stuff by myself and have everybody follow me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to be the catalyst for conversation, to help share my own experiences in any way that I can, and that is it. I'm not looking to fucking give you guys direction in life and like lead you somewhere. I just want you guys to be participating in some way. You know what I mean? It's just I want this space to be a place where when you come in, there's a level that you're at where you're just like, okay, we're at baseline now. We can be ourselves. We can talk about anything. We can have these experiences. We can share these experiences, whether it's music, articles online, whatever it is. Like, I just want to have the conversation because I've been through a lot in my life, what I feel is a lot in my life, and I know what it's like to be going through all these motions of the oceans and feeling like sometimes you get picked up off the ground, you don't know when the fuck you're gonna come back down. And I rhymed unintentionally more than once in this whole fucking spiel, but I want you guys to know that, you know, that's what I mean by tribe. The whole tribe thing is like we're all from different places and different orbits and all this stuff, and when you guys come in here, you're more than welcome. Sit down, have a chat with me, have a brew, grab some water, hang out for a bit, you know, enjoy the convo.
Steve.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're a shaman of sorts for these tribes people.
What?
Of Konky
Me?
Dong tribe, 60 tribe.
60 man? Yeah.
Konky Dong 60 tribe. I'm kidding. We're not going to brand it. It's fine. You guys do your thing.
Fireside chat with Papa Dong. Free champagne, maybe? You already drank all of it, Sampo. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Papa's here to bless you with knowledge, man. That's great.
That's it,
Fucking
man.
super positive vibes, man.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I really can't thank you guys enough. I'm going to use the tribe thing. Welcome, tribe. Good to see you.
Tribe is here.
The tribe is here. I'm just a fellow tribesman.
So good, dude.
Do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Ooh.
Oh, that sci-fi movie, right?
Dude, I can make it short and sweet.
So you saw a sci-fi movie, and okay, whenever you text me about like, I saw this sci-fi movie, that's a very rare text message, and it means that a good thing is about to happen. So
yep.
Tell us about it.
So, all right. So kind of related to the cannabis conversation, because that made an appearance to this viewing of this sci-fi movie, which always, for me at least mentally, is a great contributor to my mind opening up a little bit, right?
Very much so.
Details.
He's very vocal about it too. He'd be like, "Do you see this?"
Yeah. I get it. And it's 100% just because, like, you know, and Steve, you understand where it's like you got ADD and your brain just moves a fucking mile a minute. And like when I'm in that experience, especially watching sci-fi, for as much as I've loved sci-fi for a majority, if not all of my life, but I never got why. You know what I mean? Like I always I love this because it's loud and it's bright and it's lots of colors and like and weird ideas and all that kind of stuff. So I love sci-fi for a long time, but like you get that cannabis thing in there and it just slows it down. Then you start to look at like, you know, the how the movie was made. And then you look at the production design. And then you think of the music that's going on with the scene here. You think about the acting that's going on, where the emotion. So there's just like so many fucking layers.
And how more than one person thought that this scene or how this would be laid out would be so important and so well done. Or done in a certain way to emphasize said feelings and emotions and points. Yeah, there's a whole lot of layers, but it exposes you to the layers very slowly instead of all
slows
throwing
your brain
at you.
Down to be like, now you're looking at this. Anyway, so I watched a movie called Prospect. Right?
What's Prospect about?
If anybody can like IMDb link that in the chat for Prospect.
Make sure you ask for permission. Otherwise you'll get timed out unless you're subbed.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, if someone can. But anyway, so yes, side note,
2018
is a gift sometimes. Holy shit, it's a gift. It could be a burden. We've talked about it before.
So Prospect, anyway. Just really quick, a teenage girl and her father travel to a remote alien moon.
One quick thing.
Okay.
Leave the synopsis out of it.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because I knew like that much of the synopsis going into it. And because I didn't know, totally enhances the movie watching experience.
Where did you watch it?
You just don't,
where?
You just don't know. Yeah, just watch it bare, right?
Where did you watch it?
I bought it on iTunes blindly.
Oh.
And I bought it blindly because I pre-ordered it actually because like I saw an article that it was like, you know, this movie is gaining a lot of traction because it's low budget sci-fi, and it's incredible. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is what the world needs. I'll buy this and support this movie. So, So I did. So I bought it and watched it. Steve, we could watch this sometimes. I'll watch it again for you.
I'm down.
But yeah. So I won't
Let's
tell
get it.
necessarily everything about the movie itself because I want you guys to experience that 100% like when you watch it. But this movie. So this movie, I will give you the backstory, the back idea of it. So it was two guys that wrote and directed it. Never directed a movie before, right? It was like just, and so I watched all the special features and everything. It was that story where it's like, you know, we all had that friend that was like, I want to be a director and I want to make movies and stuff like that. Then you're like, oh, that's a funny pipe dream. And so like, but these dudes like did it. Like they bought like a warehouse, created sets from the ground up. They hired like, you know, production designers and set builders and like props makers and costume makers and all this shit. So this is like, you can feel this from the ground up. And the beautiful part about it is that it's not a big scale movie. It's not big scale sci-fi, but it is sci-fi in its purest, and it's fucking
Beautiful.
incredible. And
Beautiful.
so like, and so you feel that you feel that world building that they made. It's total world building success. Every minor detail was thought about, and like they talk about it and you could see it, you could tell it, it makes sense. It makes a sense of the story. The storyline is great. It's got a very space western vibe.
Nice.
And the acting is brilliant. The writing is brilliant. Pedro Pascal is one of the main characters, and he's going to be the Mandalorian in the Mandalorian show coming later this year.
Nice.
And so you get a peek into his acting skills. The lead, like young female actress, she's fucking brilliant in it. It's just good, man. And so like, oh shit, is it $5 on Amazon right now?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
What?
I'm looking at
It's
it right now.
$5 on iTunes. I paid $10 for it because I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, gypped,
Fucking
bro.
buy it. $5, 100% worth it. That is a coffee for some people.
It is a
Buy
coffee
that
for
movie.
some people. Yeah.
Buy that movie because like it is the story of two guys that wanted to live their dream by directing an awesome sci-fi movie, and they fucking did it, and it's great. It's inspiring. So
Hell
Steve,
yeah.
buy it. Steve, you might have to buy it.
I might. Yep. Yep. You're right.
But that was my experience. Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night. I was just by myself. I watched Prospect. Sit back, melted in the couch. It is
Hell
90.
yeah.
It is $10 to buy. Okay. If you have to rent it for $5, you might as well buy it for 10. That's my
Maybe.
philosophy. This one's worth it.
Or I just get it for free because I got Plex.
Steve. That's blasphemy. Okay.
What? What are you talking about?
This was a small budget, small production studio.
Tell you what, I like to beta. I like to beta test.
You're trying to.
I'm just beta testing. All right.
You
If
are
I like
illegally
it, I will buy
downloading
it. I'm not
and you
illegally
are-
downloading
you-
anything.
You're letting someone else do it.
I don't know if they're doing that.
Steve.
They might be legally buying this. They might be.
They not. No.
And also, just so you
can't let the
know,
file
I
out.
own a bunch of movies digitally because I watched them for free, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that again. The Matrix, John
big
Wick
budget
1,
movies? Yeah.
John
big
Wick
budget
2.
movies? Yes. Big budget movies.
Swiss
watch
Army
for free all
Man?
day. Watch for free all day. This one, don't watch for free.
I'll watch
Support.
for free and then I'll buy it.
Oh, Steve.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how to live my life.
I'm just gonna shame you forever.
You can shame me. It's fine.
Have
No
you ever
shame.
wanted Steve?
No shame.
Have you ever Steve?
No shame.
Steve,
Yes?
have you ever wanted your dreams to come true?
Dude, I don't have dreams, man.
Bullshit, you don't. Right? Now take that dream and then imagine someone stealing that dream.
You wouldn't download a car.
So funny. Oh my gosh. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, it's an incredible movie. Watch it. Prospect, made this year, I think. Released this year. Yes.
2018.
Made in 2018. Released this year. It's great. Watch it. Get that peek into the Mandalorian show.
Peek
which is
on
gonna
it.
Fucking unreal later this year. Ooh.
Oh,
How are we acting like a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old? I was just talking about like the
you wouldn't download a dream.
what the fuck?
You don't remember those commercials where it's like you wouldn't steal a purse, you wouldn't, and then one of them was like you
pirating
wouldn't,
videos?
download a car, would you? You're like, what the fuck? Maybe now I can 3D printing, you know, like.
But this is like, and they were like selling DVDs on the street. Like people fucking do that still.
You could do that on there is a business model that allows you to buy a car, and if you don't like it, return it within 14 days.
Yeah.
Carvana.
Yeah. It's like an online purchasing car thing, right?
Yeah.
Skip the dealership.
Skip the dealership.
Hashtag
Get your
not
car
sponsored.
delivered to you.
Hashtag
I didn't
not
do
sponsored.
that, but yeah, not sponsored.
Hashtag
But
not sponsored.
cool future stuff that I didn't think that was possible.
The future's brilliant. The future's bright.
Do you guys have any questions for us?
Yeah. Wrapping up the show.
Please let us know.
We usually give it a good, like, a little less than an hour and a half on the show, at least most times. If we get really juicy and thick, then we go a little bit longer. But
Yeah. Say it one more time. If we get really what?
Juicy and thick.
Thank you for not breaking eye contact.
You're welcome.
I love the IT crowd's version of that. You wouldn't murder a policeman and steal his hat. You wouldn't poop in that hat and give it to his grieving widow, then steal the hat again. Oh yeah, dude, the IT crowd's amazing. I need to rewatch that.
I've been watching that. Yeah, I've been like starting that from the beginning.
Have you?
Fucking
Is it your
brilliant,
first time watching it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, it's so
Such
good. I
good.
love that show.
I was my last episode was like when they meet like the goth guy.
Yes.
Holy shit,
Dude,
he's fucking
fun
hilarious.
fact, that is old Greg.
Huh?
You know old Greg? I'm old Greg. Do you not
Is he
know
for
who
real?
old Greg is? Do you know?
Hold on a sec.
It's the same guy from the Mighty Boosh, from what I understand. Wait, hold on, back up. You don't know about? Do you know about old Greg? Lee, I need you to answer this question.
I haven't watched Old Greg, but yes, I know objectively who that is.
Okay.
It's an internet thing / a show.
Okay, you need to watch Old Greg like right now, and we're gonna just have the camera on you.
Steve, I feel like I have to be in a mindset for that.
I need you to text me. I need you to text me as
will
soon
know.
as you're done. I cannot believe you don't know that.
Wait, hold on. I'll do this though. I will go to the YouTubes.
You don't know about? Oh my god, that's crazy.
Old Greg. It's
You ever
okay.
drink
I don't
Bailey?
not know about him. I just like haven't watched.
I'm all Greg. I got a mangina. No, you don't know about that guy? Come on.
It's a 6-minute video.
It's worth your time.
I will watch it later. Gotta sign in. Highly encouraging little side point. Look up documentaries in YouTube.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Be careful
Like,
though.
look up-
Be careful.
I know.
There's some
Well,
spooky
yeah.
stuff in there.
Yeah, but like there's just like, you know, sometimes you can find some gems. Follow the documentary subreddit is my suggestion.
From
Is that
oh
like-
yes,
On Reddit. It's
documentary
like the-
subreddit.
Oh,
Ooh, that's good shit. Also, yes, that's it. I got it. That's
yeah.
it.
And that's all it is. Questions. What do we got? Okay, so Steve, how can Steve grow a beard like yours in under a week?
That doesn't happen, but I did have a beard for a couple years, actually. I got
should
rid of
do
it because it was a pain in the ass. I don't know how the fuck you do that, Lee.
I've been
Honestly,
having
I
it
think
for
you've
years.
like trained it. It's like an animal at this point that you're just like, this is where my beard is, and it's always there.
Yeah. Like when I like put my chin down to my chest, like, you know, I feel it respond.
Yeah.
And I remember like a long time ago when I had a beard and I would do that, and then I shaved it once and I was like, huh? It was weird. It was weird. Question. Okay, how did it was I
Wait,
don't not know about
Carvana
it.
has a vending machine where you put a giant coin in to retrieve the car. That's awesome.
Oh my god, dude.
That's really
nuts.
cool. Dude, I'm down for that
A car vending
experience.
machine.
Yeah,
for
just
real,
give it
that's
like
crazy.
imagine rolling the quarter out. I'm thinking of like that SpongeBob episode where he's like, "My first dime," and it's like literally a stone with like an old coin that like a caveman would have used.
You know an interesting thought just popped in my head?
What?
I have a feeling with the way that automation is going and the way that artificial intelligence is going
Mm-hmm.
and like machine learning and stuff like that, like people won't need to sell anything anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
Like humans will not need to sell. Like I am a salesperson right now
Right.
in my new job. And I'm just thinking of like what I need to do for my job. And that is like inform people about a product that they should buy,
Right.
and answer their questions and concerns and stuff like that. But if you get artificial intelligence that just like knows everything about that product or whatever it is,
Right.
and then they're able to just answer
You're
the
talking about
questions
the
like that.
internet. You're talking about somebody being able
That's
to be
what I'm
like,
saying.
"What is this?" and then you get to do all of that. Yeah.
But think about your situational questions that you might have that artificial intelligence will be able to learn and adapt and be able to answer.
And then it's also a
That's
part of your
crazy.
brain.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cool. Well, if we can ask anything, do you think zombies could exist? Lee?
What?
Do you think zombies could exist? I think zombies can, but not in the same sense of like our movie zombies. I think if anybody wanted to do it, they could create it.
I would say maybe. The idea of like the dead raising back to life, totally plausible. I think depending on how long the person has been dead for, that's the question. Because like right now, like you have so many circuitry things going on in your brain that have like, if one component of the brain is decayed or fucking whatever it was, then a lot of things won't work
Right.
biologically. So but like in theory, if a person had just died, which they've done where they're like bringing people back from the dead like that, but like I don't know.
Dodger, no.
Negative
We
on
were
that one,
talking
yeah.
about it. Talking about our ancient ancestors from 2,500 years ago smoking pot. Because National Geographic published an article about some new discovered THC in a 2,500-year-old bowl. What is your perfect life mantra? Lee, do you have one?
Perfect life mantra. Let me Google the
Maybe
word mantra real quick.
Let's not even... It's just like a phrase, like something you try to keep in mind, something that keeps you grounded.
Like a word or sound or periods of just meditation. Oh, I got one for you. Steve, you know this already. So
Sure.
it's in my fucking social media pages, so it's for real.
So if you're not following him, fucking get your shit together.
Following me, dude?
Squat
You
up.
don't-
Squat up, dude.
Squat up, fuck you. So I live my life by a phrase by a like mathematician physicist Richard Feynman.
Mm-hmm.
Feymann, I think it is. Unbelievably poetic, and so he's got a poem that's called I think it's called I, a Universe of Atoms. And the phrase is I, a universe of atoms, comma, an atom in the universe. And it's just like, and for me, that just like, oh boy, is that bubbly. Because it's like, it gives you this sense from a scientific perspective that I am a universe of atoms. My body is a fucking bajillion, sextillion amount of atoms put together that makes me, and I am separate from the other atoms that are around me that make up all this other physical stuff. But I am an atom in the universe, so I am a tiny piece that in the grand scheme of things. So it's like this beautiful counter of your responsibility for existence, but then also your contribution to the universe. It's a very fucking beautiful balance of everything. So I live my life by that fucking phrase. What about you, Steve? You got a mantra?
I got two. One was newly adopted, one that I was like trying to pursue, and it's the "You are me living a different life."
Mm-hmm.
So
for sure.
That's like the platinum rule for me. So like anytime I'm getting mad at somebody else or mad at myself, or it's this thing that has always reminded me that there are ingredients to human beings, and I shouldn't be taking people at face value for anything. People have their own pursuits, their own lives. And if I was in a situation like they were, I would be acting the same exact way and no different. I think like, treat thy neighbor as thyself or whatever. Like that's one way to think about it. But you are me. You are literally me living a different life. If we swap places as babies, we'd be the same fucking person, So
we're connected, man.
Yeah, everybody is connected. Everybody's experiencing things in a different way. And just because we grew up in a different place, a different area, a different life experience, and we live in these meat bags full of chemicals and things put together, like we think we're different from one another, but when it comes down to it, we're really not that different. I really, truly, honestly believe that. I've been that crotchety old man. I've been that immature asshole who smokes weed all day and is selfish from nature, like from the get-go. Like I've been those things. I know what those things are. I feel like I've experienced a vast majority of human emotion and what they can entail and the situations that make those things arise, and I can see that in everyone. And that is the one thing that keeps me grounded, very much so. As far as like my personal mantra, I use this to push myself out of my comfort zone, and I use this to remind myself that I need to approach myself with more forgiveness, and it comes from my sensory deprivation take experience, and it's just I am the gorilla, and that's it.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's where the logo comes from, man.
Mm-hmm.
Find your third eye. You know,
in whatever way you think you can. Yeah,
exactly. Whatever that means to you, man. Find your mantra. Find your take on life that gives you a purpose and a drive and an understanding of the world around you. And like Steve and I have a very scientific approach to that view, because we see reality, we understand reality, but then also know that the reality isn't the limit to some degree. And so I think when you try to seek that understanding of purpose, it's just like, it's the fucking satisfying feeling, man. Let me tell you. Oh man,
lurker guy, I'm interested to engage in this conversation. So not true. We are not all blank discs.
Love that.
So explain a little bit more on that, like the uncarved block
drives,
concept.
Man. We are hard drives. Right?
I mean, to me, like if you take two babies and you swap them at birth and they have the same life experience, you create the same person regardless of the situation.
I'm going to expand on this analogy with the blank disc.
Genetics and stuff is different for sure.
So
maybe
like
you're more
Steve,
prone to being anger and stuff, but
yeah, your thought on this, right? So like you're me living a different life. Same thing as the blank discs. You have your data in your computer. You want to burn a CD. You want to burn a little mix for a sweet someone, right?
Right.
You have the data that's in the computer. You can take two discs. The two discs are two different, bodies, two different entities, right? You could put that. You could flip and flop them. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You are living a different life of someone. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm sure they're like
one thing. The mind is another. I don't know.
It's just something that like I believe in, like how a person would handle a situation. I would say, like if we negate the variables, then I would say, yeah, some discs come damaged from the factory. Agreed. But if we negate, and I'm not trying to say, this is the end all believe all. Again, like this is just my mantra. It's something that helps me approach life and people in situations that involve people in a very patient way, and a way of understanding as opposed to judgment. I just think that's just how I think, man. It just helps with that. And you may disagree with it, but I don't see any harm in believing it. It's mine, right?
That's yours, dude.
You may have your own way of going about it, and please, adopt whatever it is that you think that is best for you too. But I am interested in seeing what you mean.
Yeah.
Savage Stalker says they did that experiment with triplets. Scientists separated the triplets at birth into 3 different economic class families, and they only recently randomly discovered each other. The files on the experiment are sealed until they are old enough to technically be dead.
Well, there was also that documentary, like the 3, I forgot what it was called, but it was about that same kind of thing, that they were doing that experiment of like triplets, and they found each other, but they usually live different lives, but they're connected in some ways, but not others. But anyway,
right.
Pow, like, big question, buddy. Do you think life actually means anything if we're all meant to die eventually? My thought on that is like biologically and evolutionarily, if that's a word, evolutionarily, in the thought of evolution. So like it was like as organisms started to
hold on too. We are getting into stuff like, I know we're talking confidently, but me and Lee are not experts in any of this shit. We're just sharing our life experience. So like, we're not scientists. Like, we have regular jobs and stuff. We started the show to create discussion, and thank you guys for participating. I just wanted to make sure I set that expectation.
Good PSA there, because like we are not the professionals here, but we're fucking passionate about.
We're just passionate. Yeah, that's it.
So with the idea of death and like life meaning something is like, biologically, as we evolved, as organisms evolved, as animals evolved, and everything on the planet has evolved, it was always a sense of survival. There was always like some sort of like your purpose was survival. Like, you look at just the animal kingdom, and like, you fucking eat, you sleep, and you survive. Like, that's basically like your existence. And now as humans, we don't have to hunt, we're not as worried about survival per se. Like, we're fearful of death. So survival to us means the sustainability of the human race, in my eyes, right? So
your genes too. Your genes.
Your genes, and you as an idea don't want to be lost. You don't want to be lost as an idea to somebody else, right? So I feel like that same mindset of survival biologically that we adapted through evolution, like comes into play now in the same way, where we feel like we have to instinctively survive, but it's not physically or whatever it is. And now it's becoming mentally. Now it's becoming our place in the universe. Like, the planet's dying, so how do we survive here? It's like no one knows the end result, but we as a species could just survive for an infinite amount of time. We don't know, but that's the beauty of science, and the beauty of discovery is your constant seeking of the truth and the survival of it. So yeah, like that's the idea for me, where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna die, I get that, I know that, but what I do feel confident on is the survival of the human race, because we're having these discussions, and this, you know, our minds are becoming more open to the next step, right? And like space travel and other planets that you're trying to get to and everything. So it all, like, that's that sense of purpose that I have, and like that's what life means to me. And so yeah,
so if you're asking like, how do you find purpose in life, that's an extremely like no nuanced question, but overall, like, I think the theme really is, you know, hey, how do I find importance in my everyday life? How do I find value in what I'm doing? And how living through that, I think is like, that's what people do. We've evolved to be at this point now where we're talking to you on the internet about this subject. You know what I mean? Like, this is, we made all of this, all the human race made this shit. You know what I mean?
And here we are.
We're at this point, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be Einstein, and you don't need to be like a successful anything in what you look up to and the people that you regard as like successful. You don't need to be that. You just need to find that purpose that gets you up excited and doing things, and finding ways in all these different ways to pursue it and do it. You don't need to be stuck in this like, oh, I'll never be that. Like, you can do that in a different way, or find the thing that you want to do. Just don't get swept up in what you think people want you to do. That's always the hardest part. It's like, don't listen to the echoes of the past, or the echoes of the people telling you, like the whole wedding thing. Like, I got married, right? So people are like, you should do this and you should do that. And it's like, these are the echoes of what your parents wanted you to do. I don't need to listen to that. Like, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to bring forth into the universe and manifest. Like, I'm going to do that with the love of my life, you know? So do the same thing, but with yourself. So Lurker Guy says people react differently to the same situation, therefore they would have different lives. And Dead Wilson, good to see you. I was about to say this as well. Just the nuance of something like sense of humor reveals differences that will create very different lives with the same life path, but you can never create the same life path for two people, so ultimately you will never really know. And I agree, but what I do know is that all the life experience that I've had and the situations that I've had have brought me to this very point. I know that because that's who I am right now. So if we swapped spots, you grew up in the same situation I did with the same people, the same life experiences, I firmly believe that you would be me and I would be you if it was the same thing. If we both experienced the same exact thing. And I'm not saying there's a way that could happen, you know, like unless virtual reality gets crazier than Matrix or some shit. Like, I know Kung Fu. Like, I'm excited about that. But what I'm saying is what I know is my own life. And I know that I am the person I am today because of everything that happened previously. And if you were to repeat those same instances and those ingredients into another human being, they would be me as well. So it's like, okay, well, if we get into that's what I feel, right? Again, like, this is just what I feel like I know based on my life experience. I'm not an expert. This is just what I'm pulling from. Does that make sense? Does that make more sense now that I explain it in that way?
Yeah, it does. I think just like it's a philosophy. It's like kind of, it's a very, you know, sky view of that idea. But I think it's like, that's kind of the beauty of it. Like, you don't need to feel like you have to explain yourself per se. Right. It's like you live your own thing, and as long as you're being a good functioning member of society and you're making other people feel good and treating other people with crazy amounts of respect, I don't give a shit what you're doing with your life or what you think or believe. Right. As long as you're doing it in a constructive way, so that we all can come together at some point. You know, that's kind of the beauty of it, right? Pow kind of like just one other thing too. So like, I asked because the universe is meant to destroy this planet eventually. We do not have the means to leave Earth with the materials we waste on Earth. So I personally think we need to accept the fact that we are living in our own grave, and we need to learn to enjoy it while we can. A couple things to unwrap there. I don't think that the universe was meant to destroy this planet per se. Like I know that the evolution of a planet is inevitable, but like I know it's a lot, like right now it's getting destroyed a lot quicker than we anticipated because of human contribution. We all get that, but like I don't think the universe was meant to destroy the planet, but
no, the universe is chaos. That's what it is. So it's like,
it is chaos.
How do we positively affect our environment, the planet that we're living on, and then also how do we look at the cosmic environment that we're in? And we talk a lot about that. We talk a lot about like getting to know the cosmic environment and where it comes from and how to defend against asteroids and what happened maybe possibly 12,800 years ago. We talk a lot about...
We're learning about this stuff, man.
Cataclysm.
Yeah, dude. But that's the other thing is like, we're living in our own grave and we need to learn to enjoy it while we can. Like, I respectfully disagree with that because like the progression of science and space travel, like we have commercial rockets now. There is a company that was created, not a space agency, not a government program. It was a company that has gotten us to space, gotten materials to space and everything that never existed ever.
Yep.
Right. And this is the first time it's ever happened. Right. So there are these steps that progress has to make, whether they're little, whether they're huge, all that kind of stuff. The landing on the moon was a giant leap for all that. Hence the term one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. So that's the next iteration into the next, into the humans' contribution to our solar system and the universe or whatever. But it takes everybody absorbing and being comfortable and okay with the fact that we can do this stuff more than just on this planet, is what's going to get us faster out there. That's my kind of thing about it. So I don't think it's the Earth is dying. We could reverse it. There's ways we could do it. And we can also get off the planet and search other planets and then do that too. So it's going to take everybody believing the same thing, and that's survival.
Chaos by James Gleek is a great book on chaos. Let me take that down.
Sick.
Lurker Guy, I appreciate, dude, all the perspective you're bringing to the conversation, too. This is great. I'm just going to take a note for myself.
Yeah. But I think, we can go on for days about this stuff at this point, because, like, this is a good discussion because it's very, very like, it's in the stratosphere, right? As far as this discussion, but it ultimately comes down to the reason why we have this show and we talk about these things is like everything that we try to talk about is just another sliver in that telling of the story of the human race to some degree. Like the experiences that we have and like we see that other people are having, the things that we discover and stuff is just another fucking page in the book of life. And so we want to do this show just to write that story to some, like, through our lens,
right?
And we enjoy everybody being here and contributing to that. It takes discussion, man. It takes talking about it, even if it's weird, even if it's silly, even if it's scary, even if it's controversial, whatever it is. Like, we try to talk about it and fucking
Savage Stalker.
Go back those layers,
Ooh,
Sandwich Stalker.
Thank you. Savage Stalker.
Oh, that was a sandwich stalker.
No. You're hungry. Thank you, Josh.
Steak is being made behind me.
So just to reiterate too, so Lurker Guy, when you're bringing up the questions like isn't every DNA set unique and like these questions so what I'm saying is the circumstances are exactly the same. Remove the analytical part of yourself and just look at what consciousness is to a human being. And consciousness in its purest form is not unique for the most part. It comes from the life experience or the people that you're interacting with. So if we take the variables out, if we took the same variables, everything down to the DNA, and we swapped consciousness, you would be me and I would be you. No, you wouldn't be this. You wouldn't. The reason why you are the way you are is because you've had the experiences of your life. That exactly, like without the variables of like the DNA and all of that. So if the variables are the same and the consciousness is swapped, you and me are different. You and me are exactly the same. It's really woo-woo. I know. It's like woo-woo bullshit. Woo-woo baby woo babo babo. Yeah.
One would also say it's whoop whoop. Shout out to my fucking juggalos out there. Whoop whoop. Magic Ninja, what?
Boo!
Elaine with the cameo in the background. Not
All
a
right,
juggalo.
guys. But what if consciousness
weird.
is attached to the body and you can't separate it ultimately? That's something I don't know much about. But from what I understand, consciousness is very much tied to the experiences of that person. This is what I feel like I know because of my life experience. Again, like, I'm not an expert. That's a really good question though for like a neuroscientist or something.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we are slowly opening this can. Right, we are hand cranking that fucking thing, and we're opening cans here. We are like, I wish we can keep going. I gotta eat,
dude. No worries. Yeah, you thought I said sandwich stalker.
I said, yeah. I got,
Let's go. Let's go.
But for real though, like the people that are asking these kind of like really open-ended questions that are fucking awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. But true story. Like, put those in the articles and discussion page in the Discord.
Yeah.
Because we always are looking for things to talk about on the show, because like we have a lot of stuff we're passionate about and we think about and we want to talk about, but like it's even better if you give us something that we didn't even think to talk about. So like put those things in the Discord. Seriously, like, yeah, like put the thoughts that you guys want, the questions that you guys have. If you see a cool scientific or philosophical article or something like that you want us to discuss, like fucking put it in there.
And we could do it in the Discord too, so you guys, like, again, like the Discord's not centered around me as a streamer, it's the tribe's Discord, the homies. Y'all can post in the designated sections. There's roles. We have a whole talk show section so that you guys can have discussions with us specifically and not like quote unquote bog down the Discord. Oh, it's expired? Shit. Okay, I'll fix that in a second. Lee, where can we find you?
So the do you got the tag up on the screen?
Did Lee work?
Yeah, okay.
No,
so
it
like right below, I'm gonna guess it's right here. I'm assuming it's right there. So that's my my Twitter and Instagram stuff. But Twitch is a little different. It's R2 Lee, and the second 2 is a number 2, because Twitch sucks and can't give me my full hash or whatever, gamer tag, whatever. But yeah, just let's hang out. I just love doing the show, man. The show's fucking great. Steve, I unfortunately cannot do the show next week because I'm going to be on vacation.
I'll figure it out.
But I want to send my love, send those like fucking positive thoughts. We are 2 bundles of atoms in this universe. You know,
a universe in this bundle.
Collide, we will come together again. But today's show was great, man.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Love ya! All right, Lee, we will catch you later. Enjoy your dinner. Yep. Please say hello to the wife for me.
Certainly will. You guys are all great. Thanks for being here, contributing to the discussion. We love this. This is exactly why we did this show. Holy shit.
All right.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Lee?
I'm going to get going. I'll see you guys soon. Catch me on the internet. Internet's great. Bye. Smooches all day, every day. You guys hang out, Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to hang out for a little bit, yeah.
All right, just give this.
Just so I can wrap it up. Wrap it up. I just gotta wrap it up. All right.
He got to go. He got married, man. Send him love. Okay, I love you guys. Bye. I love you. Bye.
Bye.